You know, I happen to have a title for what I have, you know, and it was diagnosed late in life. In adulthood, I learned what I had was OCD. And I learned that what I had and the inability to focus and concentrate and was ADHD, adult ADHD. But as a child, I didn't know that these things even existed. I knew that I was very different. I knew that I felt isolated. I knew that, you know, I didn't want to, I'll give you an example, like at a very young age, I can remember I had learned to tie my shoes, went to school, and the laces came undone, and they had touched the floor. And then I didn't want to touch the laces and tie the shoes, so I would walk along with a limp to just try to keep my shoe on so it wouldn't fall off. The kids would make fun of the way I walked. The kids would make fun of the fact that I didn't know how to tie my shoes because I didn't want to say I do know how to tie my shoes so that you know, then I'd have to touch it. So, you know, it was an incredible amount of pressure, an incredible amount of stress, isolation. It was very depressing. I was, though I come from probably one of the most supportive, loving families anybody could come from, and, you know, I survived it, and I'm here to talk about it. But the reason that I wanted to be on your show today is because I believe that this is, and this is why I talk about it, this is the problem with the world. Mental health is the problem. There is nothing in place, and there wasn't, and there still really isn't anything in place where people could identify a problem and go to that problem. You know, I was just talking to you before we went to air, and you know, we were talking about you just had a baby.
Right.
And having just had a baby, you, I would imagine, have lined yourself up with a pediatrician, right?
That's right.
Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay. Why do you have a pediatrician? Is your baby going to be sick? Is your baby sick?
No, it's just you're always worried. You're scared. You
Right, right.
sure.
But you'll go there, and it'll and your pediatrician will weigh your baby and say that it's growing at a normal, and it'll test your baby, and you'll just check your baby. And when your baby gets a little bit older, you'll have a dentist, and the dentist will check your baby's teeth, and if they're not growing right, maybe you'll have a little retainer. You'll need some braces or whatever.
Right.
What is in place for mental health for young people with mental health? How do you know the baby's responding the way they're supposed to respond? Nobody would identify me as being afraid. You know, everything that I would tell you would be, would almost sound normal. I don't want to touch my laces because they touch the ground, they're dirty, and they would say, oh, don't be silly, Howie, if I would tell my parents that.
Right, of
but,
course.
But, you know,
there's
nothing, we take care of our dental health, we don't take care of our mental health, and I believe that this is a seed for every problem we have in this world right now. From the kids that are walking into Columbine and killing people, to drug addiction, to the way we deal with our education because we don't really know how to, you know, kids don't know how to cope in these social situations or even in, you know, today's school. And it is proven by medical people that even our physical health is greatly impaired or, you know, affected by our mental health.
Having gotten where you've gotten in life, coming out and talking about this, something that, you know, a lot of people would want to say, oh, I'm not going to ever admit I'm in that situation because I'm going to look weak or, you know, somehow I'm going to look bad. You come out and do it.
Well, I said,
you know, a lot of kids out there go, look, but I could be like him and have that, and that's powerful.
Well, the thing is, we got to lose the embarrassment, we got to lose the stigma, and, you know, this is what your series is about here, mental health. And you know something, from the time you have a baby, and I'm telling you this as a new mother, just be cognizant that, you know, you may want to just open it up and make it just part of your child, your little boy's world. You know, just like you're going to take him to the dentist, just take him to a counselor. Just see if he's responding the way, in the most healthy way to whatever it is. And be open and don't hide this, because it is, I think it is the solution to making this world better if we would just be healthy mentally. And so many of us aren't, and we don't know how to cope.